Antarctica is the last frontier. It holds our imagination. The last remaining territory on the planet that could have such a designation is Antarctica.
Imagine living near the icy walls of Antarctica, where the howling winds and bitter cold are the norm.
Negative 30 degrees, oh my god, this is probably the coldest weather I've ever been in my entire life.
But what if this hostile environment is not all that it seems? What if, hidden beneath the ice, lies a world of wonders beyond imagination? From blood-red waterfalls that flow from within the ice to a mythical volcano that spews molten gold into the air. Could it be that the ice wall in Antarctica is not just a natural phenomenon, but a veil to a hidden paradise? Join us as we explore what is behind Antarctica's ice wall. Icebergs of different shades. Antarctica instantly brings to mind the charming sight of penguins waddling about, definitely not polar bears, alongside a breathtaking expanse of untouched wilderness adorned with towering snowy peaks and majestic, drifting white icebergs.
And we close out in Antarctica, the continent known to be one of the coldest and most isolated places on Earth.
Yet, it's fascinating that not every iceberg is a uniform hue. Some showcase vibrant stripes that add a splash of color to the icy landscape. To delve deeper, icebergs are essentially composed of snow and glacier ice. Glacier ice is tightly packed snow that has transformed into crystalline ice. These colossal ice formations are created when massive chunks break away from glaciers as they reach the ocean, resulting in stunning natural sculptures that float gracefully in the frigid waters. The mesmerizing hues result from the intricate dance between light and the crystalline snow and ice that compose the iceberg, along with the tiny pockets of gas trapped within the glacier's icy embrace. These captivating stripes, woven through the pristine white, can showcase a stunning array of colors, primarily influenced by the unique processes through which seawater solidifies as the iceberg detaches from its terrestrial origins. Among these vibrant bands, the striking blue stripes reign supreme, emerging when melted sections of the iceberg fill with seawater and freeze at lightning speed, leaving no gas bubbles to mar their clarity. The timing of these cracks plays a crucial role in the formation of stripes. When several cracks emerge simultaneously, they give rise to rows of stripes, all sharing the same vibrant hue. On the other hand, observing stripes adorned with many colors suggests that the iceberg has been cracking and refreezing at various intervals, creating a stunning tapestry of shades. The mesmerizing green stripes that adorn icebergs can be attributed to seawater rich in algae, which freezes within the icy mass.
But scientists like Stephen Warren at the University of Washington have noticed that some icebergs in Antarctica are green.
In stark contrast, the intriguing brown and yellow stripes often reveal sediment swept up from the ocean floor as the ice sheet glides. Additionally, some icebergs exhibit a stunning jade or green hue from frozen seawater clinging to the underside of the above ice shelf. These beautifully striped icebergs are a remarkable sight exclusive to Antarctica, where the frigid temperatures create the perfect conditions for such striking patterns to emerge. However, this is not all that lies behind that ice wall. What do you think of volcanoes spewing gold? It may sound like a fantasy, but gold falls from the heavens in Antarctica.
Problem is, the gold's getting hotter, but the temperature is too. I'm worried there's not enough time left.
Nestled among the icy glaciers, the fiery Mount Erebus stands as the southernmost active volcano on our planet, offering a flicker of warmth amid the frigid expanse. This frozen continent is home to 138 volcanoes.
All of that gas, water vapor, and carbon dioxide coming up through the side of the volcano. But here, when it hits the air, that steam freezes.
As revealed by a 2017 study, with approximately 9 currently active, towering at 12,148 feet, Mount Erebus reigns as the most famous of them all. Erebus is one of 3 volcanoes that make up Ross Island, and the legend is that it erupted when first spotted in 1841. A group of researchers conducted significant magnetic surveys in the Arctic and Antarctic, leading to the discovery of the Ross Sea and the Victoria Land region of Antarctica. One of the ships in this expedition was aptly named HMS Erebus. Today, scientists continue to monitor the volcano through the Mount Erebus Volcano Observatory, embarking on field campaigns to search for extreme life forms.
They've successfully extracted one of the rarest and oldest living organisms on Earth.
The largest settlement in Antarctica, McMurdo Station, run by the United States, lies about 25 miles south of Mount Erebus, providing a clear view of this magnificent volcano. Satellite imagery of the volcano showcases a mesmerizing lava lake that has been bubbling away since at least 1972. This fiery giant frequently releases impressive gas and steam plumes, and it has a reputation for launching boulders of semi-molten rock, commonly called volcanic bombs.
It's the southernmost active volcano with an active lava lake in the middle and strombolian explosions.
While these volcanic bombs capture attention, the astonishing gas jets that scatter tiny metallic gold crystals truly astonish scientists. They estimate that this volcano releases approximately 80 grams of gold daily, translating to a staggering value of around $6,000. Remarkably, traces of this gold dust have been discovered hundreds of miles from Mount Erebus, with Antarctic researchers identifying particles in the air as far as 621 miles from the volcano. Will you mind living behind the ice walls of Antarctica? Who knows, you might be the world's richest. Meteorites. Almost 50,000 meteorites have been discovered in Antarctica, with the potential for hundreds of thousands more waiting to be unearthed. Each meteorite carries a fragment of the solar system's history.
Very cool discovery. She recently returned to Chicago after finding a massive meteorite in the Antarctic.
It weighs nearly 17 pounds and could hold secrets about the beginning of our solar system.
The first lunar rock unearthed on this frozen expanse revealed that materials from massive celestial bodies, larger than mere asteroids, can find their way to Earth. However, the quest to locate these cosmic treasures is no simple task. It demands expeditions to isolated regions where visibility is never guaranteed. Presently, scientists manage to recover about 1,000 meteorites annually in Antarctica. Yet, a recent study by researchers suggests that approximately 5,000 meteorites become hidden each year due to rising temperatures. To gauge this phenomenon, researchers crafted a model to predict where meteorites might emerge.
We have asteroids hitting Earth. Sooner or later, a bigger one is going to hit us. They're made of, in principle, the same stuff as some of these rocks that we find out there on the polar plateau.
They considered various elements such as snow cover, surface temperatures, the speed of ice movement, and the steepness of the landscape. By running simulations under various warming scenarios, they discovered that as temperatures climb, meteorites become buried beneath the ice, slipping from view. Most of the meteorites found in Antarctica are located near mountain bases or rocky outcrops, where the ice, typically flowing downward, is pushed upward. In these areas, fierce winds strip away the snow, revealing ancient ice that glows a striking blue. Instead of melting away, some of this ice transitions directly into water vapor, aiding in the exposure of meteorites that would otherwise remain concealed. However, meteorites resting on the surface can vanish in an instant. When temperatures plummet, these rocks can absorb enough solar heat to melt the surrounding ice, causing them to sink. The subsequent refreezing then traps the meteorites in their pockets of melted ice, leaving them hidden from sight.
The ice will sublimate, and that means it'll evaporate without turning into liquid, so the ice disappears, and then all those meteorites that have been trapped for thousands and sometimes millions of years.
The collection of Antarctic meteorites features intriguing samples from Mars, with the most renowned being ALH 84001. This particular meteorite holds minerals that suggest the red planet once experienced warmth and had liquid water on its surface billions of years ago. These extraterrestrial rocks frequently showcase minerals transformed by water that once melted from the ice they harbored in the cosmos.
They picked those glass particles out and degassed them by heating. They got a sample of the Martian atmosphere.
By examining these modified rocks, scientists can glean insights into how asteroids crashing into Earth might have delivered the water molecules that eventually filled our planet's oceans eons ago. Moreover, meteorites offer clues about other early solar system processes, such as whether the colossal gravity of Jupiter hindered the mixing of materials from various regions within the solar system. Antarctic meteorites stand out as the least weathered space debris on Earth, thanks to the frigid, arid conditions that help preserve them. Consequently, researchers are confident that these specimens reflect the environmental conditions that prevailed in the solar system at the time of their formation. Do you think this is all? The next will leave you stunned. Bones and skull. At first glance, one might think of Antarctica as a vast frozen wasteland, but if we turn back the clock millions of years, we would discover a land that was surprisingly warm and teeming with life. Imagine a scene straight out of a prehistoric Jurassic Park, where dinosaurs roamed freely alongside a diverse array of other creatures, creating a vibrant ecosystem. The first hints of this ancient world were uncovered in the majestic Transantarctic Mountains, where scientists unearthed the very first dinosaur fossils on the icy continent.
That year, in 2004, we were about a month into the expedition and we hadn't found anything that I would say was really great.
In various locations near the Beardmore and Shackleton glaciers, researchers have discovered hundreds of fossils belonging to amphibians and reptiles.
The traces of these warm weather plants can tell us a lot about what Antarctica was like back then.
Many of these remarkable specimens date back to the early Triassic period, a staggering 250 to 245 million years ago. During the 1970s, investigations into these early Triassic fossils revealed a fascinating connection. Some of the species found in Antarctica were identical to those unearthed on other continents from the same era. This discovery served as compelling evidence that these landmasses were once part of a colossal supercontinent known as Pangaea, which acted as a vast superhighway for migrating animals.
Back to Antarctica, because in the time period we're looking at is the Triassic, so a little after 250 million years ago, and all the southern continents are united into one landmass at that time.
As the 1980s and 1990s rolled around, fossil discoveries indicated that by the Middle Triassic period, spanning 245 to 235 million years ago, certain species had become unique to Antarctica. It appears that the region had developed enough resources to support stable populations, allowing these animals to evolve and adapt to their distinct environment over time. In a thrilling turn of events in 2016, a team of researchers made a groundbreaking discovery on James Ross Island. They stumbled upon a treasure trove of bone.
Oh, wow. Oh my God, look at that.
Which were later analyzed and determined to be between 71 and 67 million years old.
Scientists have unearthed a 100-million-year-old dinosaur fossil in WA.
Most of these bones belong to ancient duck-like creatures, but intriguingly, there were also dinosaur remains among the finds, hinting at the rich tapestry of life that once thrived in this now frigid landscape. Fast forward a few decades, and the scientific community stumbled upon a discovery that would send ripples through the annals of history: a human skull. In the year 1985, this remarkable find emerged from the sands of Yamana Beach, nestled within the breathtaking Cape Sheriff of Antarctica's South Shetland Islands. The skull belonged to a young indigenous woman from southern Chile, likely in her early 20s, who tragically met her end sometime between 1819 and 1825. This discovery marked the oldest known human remains ever unearthed on the icy continent of Antarctica. The circumstances surrounding the skull's location were nothing short of astonishing. It lay at a beach camp established by sealers in the early 19th century, alongside remnants of her femur bone. Yet the presence of a female sealer during that time was virtually unheard of. Strangely, no historical records exist to shed light on how or why this young woman found herself in the frigid embrace of Antarctica during such a tumultuous period. Now, nearly 2 centuries later, the skull is believed to coincide with the dawn of the first recorded landings on the icy shores of Antarctica. The discovery of the Yamana Beach skull was monumental, not merely for its archaeological significance, but for its potential implications in the future. In the coming decades, remains like these could play a pivotal role in territorial disputes over this untouched wilderness. Nations are quietly, and at times vocally, gearing up to assert their claims over vast expanses of this nearly uninhabitable land. Many people remain blissfully unaware that beneath the surface of Antarctica lies a darker narrative.
Buried underneath the ice in Antarctica could well be stone temple constructions. There could be biological material, remains of beings that lived there and could still be there. It could be the greatest reveal in all of human history.
For the Chilean woman whose skull was unearthed on Yamana Beach, the prevailing theory suggests she may have been involved in a sealing expedition to the continent. Perhaps she succumbed to the treacherous waters or perished from the biting cold on the shore. Regardless, her bones stand as a testament to one of the most significant archaeological finds ever made in the icy worlds of Antarctica. Strange animals. Antarctica, a land of ice and mystery, is a sanctuary for a plethora of unique animals, each with its own charm, ranging from the adorably cuddly to the intriguingly creepy, often lurking behind the formidable ice walls that define this frozen continent. Among the more peculiar residents are the infamous sea pigs, creatures that many would deem unattractive, often earning the title of the ocean's ugliest inhabitants. With their slug-like bodies and unusual features, they certainly make a memorable impression as they glide through the icy waters. Then we have the sea spiders.
Sea spiders do have 8 legs, but they don't have venomous fangs like ordinary spiders. Instead, they suck the insides of soft-bodied invertebrates like jellies from this part of their body here, known as the proboscis.
While these arachnids are typically small in other parts of the world, in the frigid embrace of Antarctica, they undergo a fascinating transformation known as polar gigantism, stretching their leg spans to an astonishing 10 inches.
It's almost as if these communities that live very deep in many parts of the world have come up very shallow around the Antarctic continent, and that's the only place that we have access.
Their impressive size can be quite a sight, evoking both awe and a hint of fear. On a more delightful note, the emperor penguins reign supreme as the largest of their kind, reaching heights of up to 45 inches and weighing around 45 kilograms. These regal birds have evolved to thrive in the harshest of climates, their substantial size providing an advantage against the biting cold. Meanwhile, the chinstrap penguins, though smaller in stature, are equally charming with their distinctive facial markings that give them a unique flair. The skies above are graced by the wandering albatross, boasting the most expansive wingspan of any bird, while the depths of the ocean are home to the magnificent blue whale, the largest creature to ever roam the planet. Not to be overlooked, the orca or killer whale captivates with its intelligence and intricate social dynamics, and the leopard seal, a formidable predator, showcases both aggression and strength. Together, these remarkable beings paint a vivid picture of the extraordinary and diverse life that thrives in the icy worlds of Antarctica. Would you love to meet any of these animals? The next thing, hiding those icy worlds, is dry valleys. Perched on the rugged western shores of McMurdo Sound, the McMurdo Dry Valleys emerge as a strikingly unique landscape, recognized as the largest ice-free region in all of Antarctica. Encompassing a vast area of around 4,500 square kilometers, these valleys present a captivating tableau where frozen lakes and expansive patches of bare earth coexist, creating a setting that hovers just above the threshold necessary for sustaining life.
I don't know what it is. It was the hardest thing I'd ever done in the most beautiful place I could imagine.
The harsh climate, characterized by frigid temperatures, scant precipitation, and the buildup of salts, lends the McMurdo Dry Valleys an uncanny resemblance to the Martian surface, rather than to Earth or even the icy expanses of Antarctica. The aridity of this region is primarily attributed to the powerful, dry, katabatic winds that sweep across the Antarctic terrain, effectively carrying away any snow that might fall, a phenomenon known as sublimation. As a result, the only ice present in the dry valleys manifests as alpine glaciers and the occasional ice on lakes, making this area a true curiosity within an already remarkable continent. It was in the year 1903 that Scott and his expedition team first encountered these valleys, mistakenly believing them to be entirely lifeless. Astonishingly, a remarkable array of aquatic ecosystems flourishes in the unforgiving climate of the McMurdo Dry Valleys, all thanks to the glacier melt streams that cascade into the ice-blanketed lakes. This flow, however, is anything but steady. It dances to the rhythm of temperature shifts, gusty winds, and the sun's warm embrace. As a result, the water levels oscillate dramatically, ranging from a mere trickle to a roaring torrent throughout the day, month, and year. This dynamic environment means that only a select few organisms can endure the peculiar conditions of the dry valleys. Among these resilient survivors are cyanobacteria, often hailed as stress-tolerant species, equipped with dark pigments that shield them from the intense UV radiation. Despite the extreme surroundings, the McMurdo Dry Valleys host a surprising diversity of life, largely because there are minimal competitors or predators vying for the same resources. One of the most extraordinary feats of these cyanobacteria is their remarkable ability to ignite the photosynthesis process within a mere 48 hours of encountering liquid water, even after enduring a state akin to freeze-drying. Strange-looking mountains. When you think of Antarctica, towering mountains may not be the first images that spring to mind, yet this frozen expanse is home to a stunning array of peaks and ridges that contribute to its breathtaking landscape. The continent is adorned with some of the most remarkable mountains on the planet, many of which rise majestically from vast ice sheets and glacial formations. Some of these giants owe their height to ancient tectonic movements or thermal uplift, while others are the result of volcanic activity from a time long past, shaped by the forces of subduction and rifting. Interestingly, many of these mountains remain hidden beneath the thick ice that envelops the aptly named White Continent. Antarctica is a treasure trove of freshwater ice, containing about 90% of the world's supply, with its landmass predominantly covered by two colossal ice sheets that are each 3 miles thick, spanning an impressive 5.4 million square miles. Antarctica is home to a plethora of stunningly remote mountain ranges and secluded peaks, far too many to explore in detail here. However, what follows is an expansive overview of some of the most remarkable mountain formations and heights found at the southernmost part of our planet. The Ellsworth Mountains, the tallest range in Antarctica, stretch approximately 217 miles in a north-south direction across West Antarctica.
But there's one big difference. The ice flow rate here is considerably faster, around 20 meters a year. Because of the brittleness of ice, cracks are developing on the surface, just like the one to my right here.
The glaciers on the eastern side flow into the Ron ice shelf, which borders the Weddell Sea. These majestic mountains are named after the American explorer and aviator Lincoln Ellsworth, who first glimpsed them during a flyover in 1935, describing them as a very high, cloud-shrouded range. Ellsworth referred to this range as the Sentinel Range, a name that now designates the northern section of the Ellsworth Mountains, officially adopted in the 1950s as more of this impressive ice-laden range was charted. Rich in Paleozoic sedimentary and volcanic rock formations, the Ellsworth Mountains are teeming with plant and invertebrate fossils, making them a significant crustal block of West Antarctica. It is believed that these mountains were uplifted during the Jurassic period, linked to the tectonic disintegration of the ancient supercontinent Gondwana, which once united Antarctica with India, Africa, Madagascar, Australia, and South America. The Transantarctic Mountains stand as a colossal geological divide in Antarctica, representing the continent's most significant mountain range. Stretching an impressive 2,175 miles, 3,500 kilometers, between the Weddell and Ross Seas, these mountains dominate the polar horizon. They rank among the longest mountain ranges globally, creating a striking division between West and East Antarctica. The western region boasts a younger volcanic landscape and rift systems, while the eastern side is characterized by its ancient, stable bedrock, formed approximately 55 to 65 million years ago as the Mesozoic era transitioned into the Cenozoic. The Transantarctic Mountains owe their towering heights primarily to thermal buoyancy, a result of upward pressure from mantle-heated rocks in an area with relatively thin crust. Beneath the thick blanket of the Antarctic ice sheet lies a hidden world of extraordinary landforms that would be breathtaking if revealed to sunlight. For instance, over 100 subglacial volcanoes are believed to be concealed beneath the West Antarctic ice sheet. Meanwhile, the Gamburtsev Mountains in East Antarctica boast peaks soaring to 9,186 feet, yet these majestic formations remain shrouded, lying several thousand feet beneath the surface of the East Antarctic ice sheet's polar plateau. Bloodwater Fall. Among the most captivating wonders of the icy expanse is the Blood Falls, a striking waterfall that cascades a vivid red from the Taylor Glacier into West Lake Bonny. The presence of life within the Blood Falls hints at the possibility that life could flourish in distant worlds beyond our own planet. These falls serve as a testament to the enchanting beauty and enigma of Earth, showcasing the potential for existence in the most unlikely of environments. But what lies at the heart of this haunting spectacle, and what secrets does it unveil about the concealed life beneath the ice? Let's plunge into the depths of this fascinating phenomenon. The Blood Falls were first brought to light in 1911 by a group of explorers. As they traversed the valley, they stumbled upon an unusual reddish hue staining the glacier's edge. Initially, they speculated that the color stemmed from some type of red algae, yet they were unable to gather a sample for further investigation. It wasn't until nearly a century later that the true source of the crimson hue was uncovered. In 2003, a research team employed a spectrometer to scrutinize the chemical makeup of the water streaming from the glacier.
This water here is pretty clear. If the water is clear and there's iron in it, that means it hasn't been oxidized yet. And as it spends time at the surface, that's when it becomes oxidized and leaves this beautiful red color around.
The striking red color is attributed to iron oxide, which forms when ancient seawater trapped beneath the glacier interacts with the air. This seawater harbors a rich community of bacteria that have evolved to thrive in the extreme conditions of the subglacial world, where light, oxygen, and nutrients are scarce. They sustain themselves through a process known as chemosynthesis, extracting energy by breaking down sulfate and iron present in the water. The researchers were intrigued by the origins of the salty water and its ability to remain liquid in such frigid conditions. Utilizing radar technology, they scanned the glacier and uncovered an intricate system of subglacial channels along with a substantial reservoir of brine hidden beneath the ice. This brine was estimated to be around 5 million years old, tracing back to the Miocene epoch when sea levels were elevated and the glacier functioned as a fjord linked to the ocean. Over the ages, the glacier cut off the fjord from the sea, trapping seawater beneath the ice. As the ice formed, it expelled salt and other impurities, resulting in a highly concentrated brine that remained liquid due to its lower freezing point and the heat generated during the freezing process. The most astonishing revelation from the study was the discovery of microbial life thriving within the brine.
No one really has a super complete record of actual flow events. So the timing of flow events, how often and when it's flowing is actually not really known.
Scientists found traces of DNA and organic carbon, suggesting that this brine harbored a rich community of bacteria. These microorganisms had adapted to the extreme conditions of the subglacial world, where light, oxygen, and nutrients were scarce. They managed to survive through a process known as chemosynthesis, extracting energy by breaking down sulfate and iron present in the water. Additionally, these bacteria produced organic compounds that served as nourishment for other microbes, fostering a complex ecosystem beneath the ice. Can you imagine quenching your thirst with the bloody water? Lake Vostok. Mysterious and shadowy, Lake Vostok stands as one of the largest subglacial lakes on the planet. Nestled beneath the Antarctic ice sheet approximately 4 kilometers beneath the Russian Vostok research station, this vast body of water rivals the size of Lake Ontario. It endures in a world where surface temperatures frequently plummet to around -60 degrees Celsius thanks to the geothermal warmth seeping up from the Earth's core, which prevents the lake from succumbing to freezing. Scientists believe that the ice covering Lake Vostok has remained intact for millions of years, potentially spanning as far back as 15 million years. This suggests that the lake's origins may trace back to the Miocene epoch, a time when the Mediterranean region occasionally transformed into a desert and horses were no larger than collie dogs. An ancient frozen lake captivates Earth scientists for clear reasons. Biologists are equally fascinated, as they believe this lake may be home to microorganisms that entered during its formation and have since adapted to the harsh conditions that prevail there, characterized by extremely low levels of nutrients and energy. Lake Vostok has remained completely cut off from the rest of the world for hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of years. Consequently, the organisms residing within it have likely followed a unique evolutionary path during this time, potentially leading to life forms that are entirely distinct to this enigmatic environment. It's no surprise that there are plans underway to investigate this and other subglacial lakes in Antarctica. However, before these explorations can continue, glaciologists must gather more information about the ice that blankets the lake and the geological features beneath it.